We're going to update you on a story we did a year ago to tell you about the reconstruction of a Greek Orthodox church at Ground Zero in New York, and it is now open, and what an incredible story. We're going to start today talking with the partner at a company called Envision here in Tampa that oversaw this project, and the project manager of this St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church reconstruction in Lower Manhattan, and just the shadow of Ground Zero, is back with us after being with us a year ago. On location we went, but Pete, let me say this right, Pete Karamitsanis. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Pete, this has been a labor of love with your Greek heritage to do this, but do we want to do some recapping? Because what happened is this, I'm doing a turbo version here, but then I'll ask you a little bit more, is this incredible church that was just a bastion of light for people to come on the heart of the financial district, was destroyed on 9/11 and literally was in the shadow of the towers. And what happened after that point? There became a desire to rebuild, correct? And tell us your involvement in that and Envision's involvement.
It became a desire to rebuild, and and it took a while to get started, but the project started in the beginning of 2014, and it just completed this past December. So,
and that is, and it was just opened back up to the public when?
Right, on December the 6th,
okay.
St. Nicholas's feast day.
And open to the public, meaning that as they did, if you look at the history of this place, for long ago, people were coming, as New York grew up around it, people were coming still, and they stayed. The owners kept it, right? They kept it in place. They didn't sell.
The parish kept the little plot of land that they were on, in spite of the fact that they were given a tremendous amount of money to sell when the World Trade Center was developed. But the parish stayed strong, and they kept the land, and that's the only reason we were able to rebuild it, to be allowed to rebuild it in the same location.
Yeah, and because for long before 9/11, it was a place people came to pray. It not only had their services there, but it's open for that again, to people come and contemplate, even those that lost people during 9/11. But what this project, what did this entail? This involved a lot of collaboration. You traveled the world to make this happen. Yeah, why was that necessary? You found
3 continents and 12 countries. Wow. The original marble for the church came from the same quarry as the Parthenon. So it traveled through Germany, through Austria, to Minneapolis, and then to New York to be fabricated and erected. Skylights came from New Zealand through Canada. So it involved a lot of people and a lot of companies and a lot of countries.
Yeah, and we're showing on screen. Let's show on screen currently it's St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church and Shrine.
National Shrine.
National Shrine, and it is impressive. And in just a few minutes, we're going to show the complete construction, the time lapse, a great video of how it happened. But this architecture, and you saw the marble and all that aspect of it, it really was, even went all the way to, you went back to Greece.
Yeah, we went to the original quarry to get the stone from. But the concept of the church was that unlike its humble beginnings of the small original church, it was going to be a national shrine, and it was going to be a cenotaph for the people that were lost in 9/11. So the intent was that it's the church on a hill now that glows as 10,000 candles. So although it's made out of marble, it had to be constructed such that it would be translucent at night, and it glows at night to tell people that hope conquers fear.
Yeah, and okay, that is. Let's talk about that. Why should people visit this church? You just said it. What the significance of this church? Talk us a little bit more about that. What does this mean to people coming? Because this reconstruction of this, just like you said, is a purpose behind it.
Yeah, and the idea is that it's not just a Greek Orthodox church. It's a place of prayer. It's a place of contemplation. It's a place that people can go. Those who lost their loved ones during 9/11 can go and remember them and pray for them. And it welcomes people of all faiths. It's not just a Greek Orthodox church.
Yeah. No. One of the things I want to bring this a little bit more personal to you before we go to. We want to show this time-lapse video of it. It's amazing. But Envision Advisors, you guys have a lot of clients. You help see projects through. You represent the owners of many projects, and in other churches you've done different things. But this one was very special to you personally, and why is that?
Well, it's special to me is not only as a Greek American, but also as a Greek Orthodox. And it was, we hope to have one project in our lifetime that's our legacy. And this to me is mine.
You call it like a legacy project, a little bit like something you wanted. What has it meant to your family too? I mean, they had to let you go. I mean, you're traveling the world. There had to be things you missed. There had to be sacrifices made.
Well, my wife and I were blessed with triplets. So wow. They're now 24, but I missed all of their high school years. I was gone for most of their high school years.
Yeah. And they, but I have no doubt that they've been there. The whole family been up there to see.
Yeah. They've been there. They wrote their names on the construction walls when the concrete was up. Wow. They wrote little prayers. So they're invested in the project.
Yeah, I love that. I will have to say the completion of this project as well happened during some very difficult times during the pandemic. That had to be a struggle. I mean, there's supply chain.
There was a lot of supply chain issues. We had to readjust schedules. Yeah. Costs went up, and it's all privately funded. So donors had to reach deep to come up with more money to complete it. As you know, the cost of materials went in transportation.
Yeah.
So
the private funding. So that alone, to get that done. But I can imagine people are coming a lot right now to see it. Let's not delay any longer. Let's show our viewers, and we'll come back and talk again just a second. But you want to take a look at this at the start of this project to completion, then we'll be right back. Amazing. Wow. That is, it tells you the whole project, all the years, how incredible, all the work that went into it. Pete, we were just talking about, there's such detailed work that was done. Tell us about this, that things were hand.
Yeah, the iconography was hand painted by monks in Mount Athos, which is a place in northern Greece that has monasteries, and that's where a lot of monks live. So they hand painted all the icons, and they came to New York and installed them onto the building, and that was a feat to watch, with those two monks just working on this church, putting all those icons out. Those are works of art.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to just throw this out there for our viewers that want to actually see this gentleman. You can actually Google and find a 60 Minutes piece. Just Google 60 Minutes St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church in New York. You can find a whole report 60 Minutes did on this. So I think it's about a couple years, a year or two old. It was before you were completed.
Right.
But they tell the story, and they show this gentleman
Of the icons,
painting.
yeah.
And they tell the story of it. It was just riveting to watch. Scott Pelley on 60 Minutes hosted it. And it was just amazing to see. So that'll give you another look. All right, Pete, I'm going to wrap this up by number one, thanking you for overseeing this project. I know with your own personal faith and your faith in God and your all the travels, how He kept you safe to do all this and protected you, and you got the project done. You're on to another one, right?
Yes.
It's like this. It's going to be hard to top this one. It's going to be hard to top it.
This is the top of it.
This is the top. This is the top. But what's the best way for our viewers to find out more about this? Can they go to the St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox website? Probably?
Yes, and also for people that visit in person, there's an entire history show prepared that
that's good.
With your personal devices, you can point to the icons and you can get the story of each saint, when they lived, what they did. So there's a whole history lesson.
Oh, I
within
love
the
that.
Church. So
it's definitely if you're in New York, it's a destination.
Yeah, yes, it is.
If you're touring New York, you need to do this and just take a few moments to sit there and just ponder, pray.
Right.
Open to anybody, everybody. Thank you so much, Pete, for coming on the show and updating us. Originally, too, I want to thank our director was out, did the shooting of this piece we did a year ago, and Brooke also did the piece as well. So we were honored to be able to follow up and give you an update. Stay